Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a review on how to make coffee with this Mr. Coffee model BVMC-CJX31 TFWF. So this is a 12 cup programmable coffee maker with a bold brew, with a strong brew selector. So it's a pretty stylish coffee maker. It's got a 12 cup carafe with a hinged lid. It's got a warming plate that'll keep the coffee warm. Pretty nice display with a clock. It's got AM and PM. It's got a regular strength and a strong brew that we can do. It's got a fresh brew timer. And again, it's got a clean function. I'm going to show you how to descale it with vinegar, so if your clean light comes on. And then it's got a delay brew. I'm going to show you how to set the delay brew. This is your switch to start the brew. So if you press it once, it's the brew now. Press it again, it's delay brew, and then clean mode. So this has a cleaning mode. So again, if you just press it once, that's brew now. But to get to the delay brew, you got to press it twice real quick. And to get to the clean mode, 3 times. So it's got this big lid, but then it's got this other lid just for adding water. So there's where we add the water, but if we open the big lid, that's where the water goes. And this is our brew basket. There's the brew head. There's where the hot water is going to come out. We move this out of the way, and we can take this whole brew basket out. It's got the plunger that keeps the coffee from coming out when we remove the carafe out of there. When you put this in, make sure you get it in correct. There's kind of a big notch right there for that, kind of that big handle. Otherwise, if you don't get it in correct, the lid won't close right. So get it in. Now this does take a basket style coffee filter, 8 to 12 cup coffee filters. One of these, or you can use a reusable filter. You're not supposed to use both. It's either or. You don't put this in there with that. So you either use this, but you can clean this after each use, or you use a paper filter, which you throw away after each use. And we're simply going to put the paper filter in there and kind of make sure it's hugging the walls. Now we're using just regular coffee maker coffee, ground at a medium grind. This is a medium roast. They usually don't say ground at a medium grind or anything. It's just mainly. So here's what the medium grind looks like. So this is a tablespoon. We're gonna put 1 tablespoon for every cup we're gonna brew. Okay, so since this is a 12 cup coffee maker, if I want the full 12 cups, I'm gonna put 12 tablespoons in here, and then I'm gonna fill this up back here to the 12 mark with water. It brews whatever amount of water you put back here, it brews that amount of water every time you press the brew button. If I only want to do 6 cups, I'm going to put 6 tablespoons, and you can just do that accordingly. 4 cups, 4 tablespoons. I'm going to do 6. So I'm going to put 6 tablespoons of coffee right there. Okay, so I've got my coffee in the coffee filter, move the brew head. We're going to pour the water back here now. So I filled my carafe up to the 6 mark. The best way to use is the carafe to fill this back up here. It's got a nice big opening for pouring water. That's probably the biggest opening I've ever seen. Then we got to make sure to put the carafe back. We're at the 6 cup mark. Yep. We're going to close the lid. You're simply going to come up here and press the button 1 time, the select button. That's the brew now. If I wanted a strong brew, I would have to press this button to get the red light to light. I'm going to do a regular brew. So check out my next, like I said, I'm going to do a video on descale, and I'm also going to do a separate video on how to set the auto, so the delay brew. I'll do a separate video on that to make that really short. So it starts brewing right away. Now don't do this, I'm just doing this for demonstration to kind of take a peek. There's going to be a lot of steam coming off here. But the hot water is saturating the coffee grounds. Let's do some temperature checks, see how hot the water coming out is. 188, 190. Not too bad, not too bad. Okay, so we're at the 4 cup mark. It's been about 4 minutes. It brews about a cup a minute. Here's how the coffee grounds are doing. It does get a little noisy towards the end as it's got a bunch of, this gets pretty hot up here and it gets a bunch of steam coming up around it. Okay, so it does beep at you when it's done. Now the clock is still displaying clock. Let's hit the fresh brew timer. Ooh, be careful, that's hot. That's the fresh brew timer. So right now it says 6 minutes. So the fresh brew timer must have started whenever the brew started, because that's how long it took, is 6 minutes to brew the pot of coffee. So it's not the best fresh brew timer. Normally fresh brew timers start when the brew is done. Okay, let's get a cup of coffee. Let's see how, yeah, the craft pours really well. And see, the fresh brew timer counts up, so it's 7 minutes since you started the brew. That's a pretty high, that's a 160, yeah. Normally I'd like to see around 165. I am going to descale this, so it probably needs to be descaled. Let's come up here and take a look. Now again, they can be careful, this could be hot. A lot of steam up here, yeah. There's the coffee grounds. So when you're done with the coffee, now right now the warming plate's going to stay on. So we can see 200, yeah, that's not bad for a warming plate. Normally I like to see around 300, 267. But when you're done with the coffee, you need to turn it off. So just hit the selector button. That's going to turn the coffee maker off. So once that lights out, that means the warming plate's off and it's not going to burn that coffee in there. Cleanup is pretty simple. Be careful, this can be hot, so you may want to let it sit. But it does have these handles. Grab it by these handles. It's not going to drip on you because of that plunger. You can just take that to the trash can and throw your coffee away. So cleanup is very simple. This is dishwasher safe. I rinse mine out about once a week. I run through the dishwasher. Then we have the carafe. The carafe you can put in the dishwasher. The lid comes off real easy. All of this can be dishwasher, those 3 parts. You know, the coffee tastes fairly reasonable out of it. Again, this is kind of an older one. My next video is I'm going to show you how to set the delay brew. Thanks everybody for watching. If you could, please like and subscribe.